A long time ago, in the dry northern lands where the Hamatan wind carried dust like a veil, there lived Emir Gidado, a ruler feared more than the lion of the savannah. The people said, Idan sarki ya zama kura, to talaka ya zama akuya. When a king becomes a hyena, the poor man becomes a goat. Gidado punished without mercy. Thieves lost their hands. Debtors were thrown into the snake pit, and anyone who spoke against him vanished before the first call to prayer. Markets were taxed until traders wept. Farmers gave their best millet and groundnuts to the palace. At night, masked guards moved like shadows, knocking on doors that never opened. Among these people lived Idris, a young leather worker in the market. His father had died in Gidado's prison over unpaid task. Idris carried a quiet fire in his heart. He swore that one day the emir will taste the people's anger. One Hamatan night, while Idris stitched a saddle by lantern light, the curtain at his doorway moved. A tall figure entered, wrapped in a dark cloak. You hate the emir, the voice said. I can help you end his rule. Idris gripped his knife. And who are you? The stranger pulled back her hood. It was Princess Zainab, the emir's only daughter. Idris' hands froze. I am not my father, she said. I have seen his wickedness. I want to stop him. She told him a secret. Every year, during the Durbar festival, the emir left his throne for 1 hour to pray in the palace mosque. In that hour, the palace gates could be opened from the within, letting the people take back their land. Idris stared. Why will a daughter betray her own father? But her eyes were heavy with pain, the kind only truth can carry. In weeks before the Durbar, Idris and Zainab met in quiet places, by the dye pits where blue water shimmered, under the tall minaret, and in the broken pigeon tower where no one came. She told him her mother had died after speaking against Gidado's cruelty. She believed her father had her silenced. But danger crept closer. One afternoon, Idris returned to find his workshop smashed and his neighbor gone. The next day, the emir called all craftsmen to the palace, claiming a traitor was among them. When the guard's eyes rested on Idris, Zainab stepped onto the balcony and with a voice like cold steel, she said, This man is too small to plan anything. Let him go. The people thought she was mocking him. Idris knew she had saved his life, but at the cost of her own honor. Durbar came, horses danced with jingling silver, drummers beat the talking drums, and the air was thick with dust and excitement. The emir's stallion led the parade, but Idris slipped away to the palace. Zainab was waiting, dressed as a servant. Together, they reached the great wooden beam that locked the gates. Idris lifted it, sweat running down his back, while Zainab kept watch. The gates opened just enough for the rebels to enter. But before they could reach the throne, a deep voice cut through. The emir stood before them. He had sent another man to ride in his place. You think I do not smell betrayal? Gidado roared, sword in hand. Guards poured in like a flood. Idris braced for death. Zainab stepped in front of him. If you kill him, you must kill me too. The emir's eyes burned. Why defend this common man? Zainab's voice was clear. Because he is braver than you will ever be, and because I love him. The rebels burst in, their cries shaking the palace walls. Years of fear spilled over into rage. The emir tried to run, but Idris caught his arm. "This time you will face the people's justice," he said. They dragged him to the same prison where so many had died. Weeks later, peace returned to the land. Idris was offered the throne, but he refused. "A king's power should be shared," he said. He and Zainab married under the great baobab tree in the palace courtyard. The guide sang, "Bakin ciki bai fi farin ciki ba. Sorrow is never greater than joy." And so, the palace once ruled by fear now bloomed with love.